हाय, सो लेट्स अंडरस्टैंड टुडे कि अगर हमें अपनी कंपनी में ट्रेनिंग कंटेंट बनाना है तो हम ट्रेनिंग कंटेंट किस तरह से बना सकते हैं, किस किस चीज़ के लिए बना सकते हैं, वो ट्रेनिंग कंटेंट बना के हम उसको कहाँ यूज़ कर सकते हैं, वो ट्रेनिंग कंटेंट हमें किस तरह से स्ट्रक्चर करना चाहिए, ट्रेनिंग कंटेंट का हमें क्या सिर्फ डॉक्यूमेंट बनाना चाहिए, क्या वीडियो बनाना चाहिए, हमें क्या मैक्रो टास्क्स के ट्रेनिंग डॉक्यूमेंट बनाने चाहिए, क्या हमें माइक्रो टास्क के डॉक्यूमेंट बनाने चाहिए, ये सारे क्वेश्चंस का आंसर करते हैं आज।
So, how to make training content? What do we actually mean by training content? The training content is a document that acts as a step by step manual from an employee's point of view, that is the actual doer, that explains his or her work in detail in a precise manner. The training content should explain where he or she will receive the task, like from where will they receive the task, and how will she or he perform the task, and from where one should report that the task is now done after completion. Training documents should ideally be made for micro tasks and not for macro tasks for any individual team member. Making such training documents for small tasks can actually make the system way better, and employees tend to understand and follow them properly, resulting in improving efficiency. Let's understand what is the ideal structure for a training content. The training content, whether a written document or a video, should cover basic three elements, three basic areas of any training content. These training content are applicable for all operational tasks of the company. Now, the training content, the part one is clarity. The first thing that you should write about is clarity. Now, what does clarity cover? Clarity clearly specifies from where the team member will receive the task or get to know that the task is now due. The company could be using a Google Sheets based ERP system. They could be using any specific software, that is a task management software, or they could be using any other platform for mapping out all the tasks. Whatever the platform may be, it should always be written for that specific task, that from where will the person get to know that the task is now due. Clarity should also mention that all the different pieces of information, the different resources that would be required to actually perform the task. Clarity should also mention from where the team member will get all these pieces of information or all these resources before starting the task. So if we mention these three things inside clarity, which is the first part of the training content, then it's very easy for the doer to understand what should they expect. Then comes the second part, which is the action. Action, I believe, is one of the most important parts. The second part of the training content is the most important part, which is how to perform the task. The steps that are required to perform the task should be explained in a step by step, detailed manner with clear instructions. The designated task could be of different types. It can be something that is needed to be done physically, for example, dispatching of goods or calling the customers for any kind of feedback. Or it can be something that needs to be done on a computer, that is through an online mode. For example, any bank reconciliation that we need to do, or any specific kind of data entry that needs to be done. Or it could be a mixture of the both, whether team member needs to perform the task physically and then update it into the system. Whatever the case may be, all the instructions that are needed to actually perform the task step by step should be mentioned in action. This is the part that is covered here. Now comes submit. So, part three is where we mention the employee, what the employee is expected to do once the task is done. This should include instructions like after the task is done, mark it done in the task management software in the employee dashboard, which signifies that the work is actually complete, or send the report to the director by email in a PDF format, or keep the printed document on sir's desk, or any other similar kind of instruction. This way, the team member will be very, very clear about the expectations from him regarding the things that he needs to do after the task is done. So, these are the three different segments or the three different parts of a training content. Now, let's understand how do we audit whether the training content is made in the right manner or not. We call it the authenticity check. So, among the three parts of the training content, action, as I mentioned before, is the most crucial step. This should be done because action actually explains how the task is performed. So, if we are making a training document, which is a written document, then we check the total word count of the full document, and then we check the word count of the specific action part. The action should have the most words in comparison to the full document, and clarity, action, and submit. So make sure that more than 50% of the word count is there in the action in comparison to the full document. This is how we check when we are creating a document. In case we are creating a training video, then what we do is we check the time frame for the time duration of the action part, and then we check the time duration of the full video. And then we see while making a training video for a task, make sure that the duration of the action is more than 50% of the full video, which includes clarity, action, and submit. So this way we check that action is given the most importance in the whole training content. The second authenticity check comes a task is given to a person not from the same department, and the PC makes sure that they go through it through the training content made. So if the person is able to complete the task, then the training content is approved. If the person is not able to complete the task, then the training content fails the authenticity check. So what happens if the authenticity fails? These two are the conditions that help us authenticating a training content. If both the conditions are fulfilled, then the training content will pass the test. And even if one of the above conditions are not fulfilled, then the content will be marked as unauthentic. And if the person is not able to complete the task, which is not from the same department, then the process of making the training content is reinitiated. Now we understand how do we actually use the training content, whether these are training documents or these are training videos, how do we actually use them? These training videos or these training documents are made for the benefit of two kind of people in our company. One is the existing team members in the company, and two are the new people who are joining in the company. So, for the benefit of the existing team members, what we can do, we can make the content available in the task management software. The content should be made available where the assigned tasks are shown to the team member, to the employee in the virtual desk. This is done so when an existing team member needs any clarity on how to actually perform the task, what all resources will be required, what is expected out of them after the task is done, they can just simply refer to the training content that is made. The links of those training content should be made available right beside the task. This is how these are used for existing team members of the company. Now, for the new team members in the company, for the benefit of the new team members, what we need to do is that we need to make sure that the HR team or anyone in the company who is responsible for conducting the induction process is given access to all the training content of the company. The team then can use it to train the new employees during the induction process. They must maintain a single database of all the training content in the organization. This is done for the purpose of conducting the induction process of new joinees. The HR would show them all the training content, reducing the training time for the new team member, new employee, thereby benefiting the company. So, if the induction process is done in the right manner, then the right training will be given to the actual team member, and this will help in reducing the training period. And through videos and documents, the new employee will be very smoothly trained. Now, there are some points that you should remember while making training content is for creating training contents of multiple tasks in the company. Ideally, a dedicated resource is the best way to make training content, as he or she will be able to give their full focus to it. This is something we highly recommend, and the ideal target for a dedicated resource to make the training content should be on an average one document per day. So around 25, 26, 27 documents per month is the right number of training contents that we can expect from a person. While making multiple pieces of content, one should choose the topics that are most troublesome for the business owner. Documents should be made first and videos should be made later. This is recommended if the documents are prepared first, then the videos are shot in a much speedy manner. So if we think about all the different topics that we need to make training content on, we should choose topics that are a little troublesome for the business owner. In the sense that, say, for example, the business owner is kind of under pressure where, his knowledge base is a little weak in some department. Maybe it could be accounts, or it could be HR, or it could be any other department. So, or even if the people are about to leave there, or any other reason, if any specific department that is crucial for the business owner, we should create the training documents of that specific department first. Then we should go on to other easy departments. Secondly, while we are making training content, I believe in the first round we should make training documents. Training documents creation is the more important part. If we create the documents, then video making becomes a very smooth exercise, and it becomes a very fast process. So, documents ideally should be made first. In order to improve the existing training contents, feedback should be taken from people who do not belong to the same department. For example, a bank reconciliation task from an accounts department can be given to a data entry executive along with the training document. And they should be asked to complete the task by referring only to the training content. The questions they ask or the difficulties they face can be noted down. And these subtopics or these extra questions can later be incorporated into the training content. This helps continuously to improve the quality of the training content that are being created in the company. This exercise can also be carried out through the second part of the process of authenticating a training content, as mentioned earlier. So, this is everything that you need to know about creating training contents.
सो आई होप आज के सेशन के बाद आपको क्लियर हो गया हो कि ट्रेनिंग कंटेंट किस तरह से बनाया जाता है। उसके बाद भी अगर आपको कोई डाउट हो तो आप प्लीज़ अपनी मैनेजमेंट से पूछिए और उनसे अपनी डाउट्स क्लियर कराइए। केडिया ग्रोथ सर्विसेज की तरफ से आपको ऑल द बेस्ट। Hi, if you like our content, then do hit the like button. Do share it with somebody who would benefit from watching this video. Do let us know what you think about our content. It will give us an opportunity to improve. If you're a business owner and you would like to have a one-to-one with me, then there is a link in the description. Go for it. Thank you for watching.